Hello. Hello. How's it going, guys? Hope I still got some of the people that I lost last time I plugged this in. So if you're there, could you just say hello and tell me where you're from? Say what city you're from. I'm in Washington, near Seattle. Oh, thank you. Glad you came back. Okay. I'm going to give you a little tour as to what's in my little drawing pouch. This is the one I carry around with me, and these are mostly the things that I tend to use a lot. Here's my little, it's kind of like Hello Kitty, but it's not. It's just a little pouch that I can carry around. Have my little gum here, small pair of scissors. It's kind of handy to have. Got my micron pen, and this is the O1. It's 0.25 millimeters. Just so you know, my battery's pretty low, but it's plugged in, so hopefully will last. Here's another one, same size. And these are just extra pens. I did a demonstration somewhere, and I just had these dry erase that I still have in my bag. I've got several pencils in here, but I'm using a mechanical pencil, my favorite. I don't like the ones you have to sharpen. I use the 0.5 the most. I have a couple of them. Here's another one. I like to collect those. And then I carry around the extra lead since I don't have a sharpener. And then here's the other pencil. Here's a little Hello Kitty pencil. And then I've got my Settler plastic eraser. I love this a lot. And this has lasted me a long time. I actually have one or two extra ones, but I've not had to use them. These are similar to the ones that you find at Hello Kitty. It's really, the Hello Kitty ones tend to smell, be very fragrant, so it's kind of fun. But this is just a standard one. Here's the 0.5 Copic multi-liner, but if I had a choice, I'd probably get the Pigma Micron. Here's some more Pigma Microns. Here's a brush pen, and then here's an extra fine one. It's 005. This one is 0.2 millimeters, so it's very tiny, almost like a needle. Then razor sharp, and now I've just got extra things like really cool pen. Look at this. It's really compact, and it's got a pretty little pearl thing on the end. And when you push it, the tip goes out. Got another mechanical pencil. Seems like I can't have enough of these. This is one of those Click-It erasers. This is kind of handy if you want to get into small places. The only thing about this is that I tend to go through this faster than this little bar one, so I prefer this one. Plus I can cover a lot more area with that. So anyway, let me put this back. And what I always start with is just a mechanical pencil. I tend to do my sketches first, but let me give you just a little tour as to my sketchbook, because some of you have never heard who I am. I'm Nami Nakamura, and under Pent Up Artist, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, right here on Twitter. So here's one I did. See that? Here's the names of God. I did that around Christmas time. And look over here. This is a sketch one. I actually ended up penning that in, but instead of erasing the whole thing, I decided to start a new page. So here it is. I did this actually on an airplane ride. The thing about this is there's a lot of words, so it's kind of tougher to make it look good. Here's a sketch that I never actually finished up penning. Here's another one. Here's another one. You can see the details. I did lots of shading, a lot of dots, a lot of sketches. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Can you all see that? See the shading? I just did little lines right there to shade it in. Did lots of texturizing here. That's a really cool one. This would be fun to color in. Here's one I did. Can you see that? This is lots of fun to do. I tend to do pencil sketches first before I pen them in, because I know sometimes when you pen them in right away, obviously you can't fix that. Well, obviously we live in Seattle, so I've got to be a fan here. This is when we won the championship, and you all know how that ended up. So here's another one I did. Here's one of our fair city. Here's another one. This one I try to incorporate the logo and just the details of the hawk. I know this sketchbook is really, really big and long, so I'm not sure if you want to see all of that or not. If you do you want to just say so? Otherwise, I'll just do a sketch. Here's another one. See how they're all different? So obviously, if there's fewer words. Okay, looks like you want to see a sketch. I don't blame you. Okay, and this is my practice Periscope because I'd like to do some Bible journaling for you all. Some of you are very interested in that, but I think I need to get this down pat before I start that. Okay, so I always carry around a little pad about this size. I happened to get this at Barnes & Noble. Here it is, and it was only like $7 or so or less. There's 200 pages. It's acid-free, so you could put it in your scrapbooking. But it's very smooth paper, so it's very affordable. You can get the same quality of paper at just a regular art supply place, but you're going to spend at least over $10 easily on the same kind of book, maybe with fewer pages. And I like the fact that it has this kind of a binding because I can use it this way or this way without it falling out if I flip the page. What do you guys think of that? It's kind of a handy tool. Handy tip too. Okay, so what I always do is I decide on what I want to draw or write. So let's see. Do you guys want to say why don't you give me something that you'd like me to write? Then I can do that. Any ideas? Otherwise, I'll just come up with something. Go ahead. Any suggestions? I'm up for it. Hello? Okay. All right, well, I'll just get started. Let's do the joy of the Lord is your strength. So I just kind of start with a sketch. And at this step is when I do lots of erasures because, you know, I want to kind of see how it looks. Can you all see that? That's a sketch. And sometimes depending on the spacing, I might center it, I might have it off to the side. In this case, obviously, it's not all the way centered, but then it's not really big enough to do a word on the side unless I went kind of narrower. So I might just put it down below here. See that right here? And the cool thing about doing letters is you can do all kinds of endings. So here's one that I just kind of curled over, but you can have it go down that way or make it go straight. There's different ways you can do that. So right here, the joy of the... So some of you are wondering, well, you know, my writing's not that good. Obviously, I made a mistake here. So I just take my eraser, erase that pretty quickly, and then I could just keep going. And I don't worry so much in the sketch phase how perfect it is because that's where I can make my changes as I go. So let's see, is your... See, this is where it gets kind of complicated because notice how this kind of competes with that. That's why I do it in pencil, because if I have to change it, I can just pen it in differently. Can you guys see this? I can't even see any of you guys'. Let's see. Actually, okay, where are you guys at? I'm trying to, want to show the chat. Okay. Strength, like that. See that? And then right here is where you'd get competing lines right here. So that's when, you know, you might want to change it, change the way you do your letters, change where they compete. So here, I might just go like this, a little shorter, and then I might do a little... See that? That looks a lot better, doesn't it? Can y'all see that? Can I get some feedback here? So then I take my micron pen, the 01. Oh, thanks. Okay, I see that. Then now I'm going to fill it in. And this is where I can make all my adjustments. So if I want something a little more to the left, or maybe I made it a little too, too short or too long, or I didn't space it out correctly, that's when I can make my adjustments. See that? I'm not even tracing it out exactly as before because I didn't like how this competed with that. So here, see right here, I'm just going to do that. And I kind of have a looser style of calligraphy. See that? I do use a pointed pen, but this is one that's portable. The pointed pen, you really need to be sitting down at a desk and have an inkwell, otherwise you're going to spill. So this allows me to give the illusion of calligraphy without actually using a calligraphy pen. So this would be called a lettering arts. See that? I'm just going to do this. And some of you might wonder like how to get started in calligraphy. See, I've done lettering arts, calligraphy, and graphic design for many years. So it takes a lot of practice. I know I get people saying all the time, oh, you make it look so easy. Well, when you spend that many hours doing it, once you get good at it, it does make it look really easy. So, see that? I'm not even matching up any lines. When they're perfect, then they look a little more, I don't know, just kind of forced. I like it when it's a little bit more looser looking because then it looks like not your typical writing. And then let's do this here. And if you ever do this and you want to sell it, you can actually scan it into your computer and then do some cleanup work so that, if there's something that was a little bit jaggedy, you could fix it then. Because, when you're doing this quickly, sometimes, depending on where you're turning the pen, it could be a little bit jaggedy here. See right here, earlier it was kind of competing against this S, but I moved it. And then the O, I moved it up. Can you all see that okay? And then at this point, that's when I erase. So then I can add some accents if I want. Like this. I'm going to just erase this and I can add graphics. See, I could add some accents, details, like shading or maybe dots or backgrounds, whatever I want to do. See, I like this eraser because it doesn't leave any, doesn't rub the paper off. Rubs it off clean, just like that. See that? Pretty cool. Okay, so then I take this, and then if I want to double up something, like if I want this to have kind of a double line, I can go over that. See that? Double it so it kind of matches the other letters a little bit better. But this is something that you can do without having a precise hand. See that? It kind of matches that a little bit better. Okay. I'm curious as to how many of you found me from the Bible journaling. Is anyone here from Bible journaling? Could you give me some feedback if that's the case? Otherwise, how many of you just found me just because you were searching? You're just searching, those people? Okay, great. Hey, that's kind of cool because I don't know who you are and you don't know who I am, but you could see what I'm doing. See that right here. And I also do illustration, but this is kind of like my newfound thing that people are really enjoying watching that I do. See what I did here is I added some dots here. So that kind of adds more whimsical detail to it. See that? Oh, great. You came from there. Great. So right here I'm just going to see that. I could even add a little. So then when I take a look at this and I see if there's any gaps or if I want to center something, this is where you can kind of compensate for things. So if you didn't center it correctly, you can add like a swirl on that side to add more weight to that side. If you want more going on here, you can add some, flourishes there or add a graphic. Here I might just do, let's add this. Just kind of fun right there. I'll add that. See that? It's kind of fun. Very simple. This would be great to scan in and then colorize and then give it as a gift on a note card, or to just send it out as a note card. See that? Pretty simple. But like I said, I always get it the way I like in the sketch phase of it before I actually pen it in. So sometimes it'll take me, you know, several trials to just get it right, because otherwise it's just too, I don't like to pen it in unless I actually like it. I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste my materials doing that either. Okay, let's see what else I can do here. Let's see. How about let's do Happy Labor Day, since today is Labor Day weekend. You could watch how I do that. So here, I'm going to do the happy, and anytime I do the H and the A together, I tend to not do the crossbar until I do both of them together, and I'll show you why. So here is the H, here's the A, and then watch, okay, I'm going to add that, but watch what I do here. See that? Isn't that cool? I really like that. So whenever I do the H and the A, I always keep that in mind so that I'm not adding the crossbar there. What do you think? Isn't that pretty cool? So here's happy, and then let's do labor. Okay, right here. You could cross like that, and sometimes I'll leave that for now until I figure out how I want to do that. So you'll see a lot of calligraphers, they won't do the flourishes or the cross, you know, I don't know what you call it, the crossbar until later, because they want to see how it interacts with everything else. So here, Happy Labor, and let's do day. Right here. Okay. And I know some of you have never done calligraphy at all, but don't let that discourage you, because you can always improve and get better at it. So let's do this. And since Labor Day is a holiday, we'll do stars. And I'll add some graphics here. And believe me, when I was doing stars from the beginning, it took a lot of practice because it had to look balanced. But now I can do it pretty well. And if it's a little bit long in some spots, it's intentional. But before, it would look kind of like a squished star. See that? Isn't that cool? And then you could just add fun stuff. Like if I wanted to add a flourish there, or if I wanted to add a swirl, like let's see, if I added a swirl here, could do that. Could add it right here. And then when I pen it in, I can add some stuff. So like right here, I can add it right here. Or maybe even have it go like that, and then erase this part. So there's lots of ways. They don't always have to be on the same baseline. That's what makes it fun when you see something like this, is that they're not all the same. That's what gives it more sense of movement, but it also looks more contemporary when it's not on the same baseline. And I think that's why a lot of people like it, is it looks so festive. You see that? Now I'm going to pen it in, okay? So once again, with my Micron 01, I'll go like this. Let's do this. And then it's here. Okay. There's the P. And my second line I go a little bit longer, and so I purposely don't match up the tips. If I'm making this more formal, that's when I would, line everything up, but I'm purposely not. I notice even at the top and the bottom I don't do that. It's kind of my own lettering style that I've developed, but as you practice you'll find what you like to do. I like to do these kind of Y's because they're different. You don't really see that. See that? Okay, so here's right here. Here's the curly part of the A. Right here. And let's do J right here. So mainly the sketch is for placement and to get an idea of where you want the letters to go. Okay, right here. And here's the star. Okay, I'm going to make this one a little sideways. And then right here. Isn't that cool? Now I'm going to erase the pencil lines. So you can see where I didn't match it up exactly because I made my adjustments, like if something was going to touch each other or it was going to compete too far, like this part of the A with the Y, I would just move things. So you just move it that way. Something else you can do is if this is a little too risky for you to do it this way, you can always use tracing paper. You'll trace over your sketch, make your adjustments at that time, and then you can use carbon paper, or not carbon paper, I'm sorry, graphite, what's it called? Graphite, not tracing paper, graphite, transfer paper, that's the word. And then you just transfer it to the paper, and then you go ahead and darken it in with your pen. That way you get it exactly the way you want on your tracing paper. And I've done that before. Like I might let's say I'm doing a sketch and I like the letter, the R on one word, but then I like the rest of it on the other. So I might just use the tracing paper, do everything, and then just pick and choose what I like or position it where I exactly want it to be. So here is Happy Labor Day. What are you guys doing this weekend? Anybody have any plans for Labor Day? Any picnics? We have a lot of rain here, so we're not doing picnics here. Okay. I'm going to do, this time, a bouquet. What is graphite paper? Okay, graphite paper, it's kind of like if you took pencil and colored it all over. Do you remember doing that in grade school? And then using that, and when you write on it, it would transfer over onto something else. That's called... oh, you're power washing your house. Wow. Okay. Well, we're getting the rain for our house. But anyway, so what you do is, graphite transfer paper, it has the graphite, which is the lead on one side, so that when you put some pressure on it with a pencil, it transfers onto your paper, and then you could trace it and then erase it. Kind of like, almost like a sketch, and then I would just erase that. Tracing paper is see-through. So I can actually see through to my actual drawing. And yeah, the neat thing about the tracing paper is then you could see everything exactly and position it the way you want and then do that. And I use that a lot for different purposes. So, okay, so let's do a little sketch. Sometimes I do the pencil first, and then I'll do the pen, but it depends on how serious it is. You know, if it's something very simple, then I might not even use a pencil. I'll show you doing a bouquet here. I'm going to do some roses here. Let's do another one. I start with a little swirl here, and then I'll do the different petals. Here's another one. Isn't that fun? And then I'm going to add a rosebud here, and then a little swirl here. I'll do the same thing here. Rosebud here. And then I'll add some little petaled flowers like that, different places. So I'm kind of building on the bouquet. And I don't make them exactly symmetrical, like I won't make all the petals exactly the same because I want it to look like it's like at an angle. Does that make sense? Can you see that? Okay. So you just keep building on it. So I'll add another rose here. And then let's add another one here. So it'll be kind of a bigger bouquet. I'll add some small flowers here. Okay. Let's add another rosebud here. Oh, I just got a call while this is going on. That's weird. I don't know how to answer a call while this is going on, so I just declined it. So hopefully it wasn't that important. Adding some little leaves. Do you see that? So I'm going to add a little bow. Okay, and then I can make it go straight. I can make it curve. I can make it kind of, I'll do that. Okay, then for the stems, and then I'm going to add some fun things right here. Let's see. Do you see that little accent? Because with any bouquet, it's kind of nice when there's different textures on there, right? So right here. Okay, and then right here. Then I'm going to add a few little curly cues just to make it look really artistic. See that? What do you guys think? Can you see that? Imagine this penned in. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my pen. Oh, thanks for the hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you. And if you want to know how to do the hearts, just tap the screen and you're going to have your color heart. So the more you tap, the more hearts you'll show. And actually it'll help me. I heard that for the Periscope, kind of bumps you up so that more people see you. So that really helps to kind of spread the word, and it'll encourage me to want to do more videos. Can you see that? Here's another. Look at that. See the leaves? Okay. Hope you guys can see this okay. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Didn't know we had our own color hearts. Oh, yes, you do. Let's see what color yours is. Why don't you tap real quick, okay? Can you tap real quick? Yeah, I think yours must be purple. So that way you could see what you're transmitting. I know I'm pretty new to this myself. I think I was brown hearts. Yep, purple, good. That's pretty fun how they do that. Yeah, this is so fun. Oh, thank you. Is it fun to watch the hearts or is it fun to watch me draw? Which one was fun? Couldn't tell which one you were talking about. Can you see that? I know the shadow is not so good here. Probably need some lights here. It's starting to turn dusk. Oh, you like the drawing? Oh, thank you. Do any of you like to draw yourselves? I'm watching you draw and practicing. Oh, good. That's great. That's actually how you get good, is by practicing, seeing something you like, and then just practicing over and over again. Great. That's how you get good. Even someone like myself, you know, even though some of you might think, oh, wow, she knows how to draw, I like to always improve. Like, I like to go to conferences or, you know, watch a video or class or whatnot, because I want to learn too. So it doesn't just have to be people that are just learning to do that, but anybody can improve. Well, obviously, if you're a professional athlete, you even need a coach, don't you? You'd think, okay, well, if they know their stuff, they don't need anybody to learn more from, but no, they do. So that's true of anyone. So I encourage you, even if you're really good, sometimes you might just want inspiration. Watching YouTube video and copy carding others. Oh, that's good. Yep, that's really great. So here I'm going to do the bow. And remember, I'm not matching it up right at the lines, because if I do, it just looks a little too forced. And then everything has to be exact. And that's tougher to do when everything's exact. But if you do it this way, then it's a little bit simpler. Copycatting, sorry. Oh, that's fine. Do that. I'm happy that you want to. I don't know if some of you have probably never heard of me. I designed for rubber stamps, and that's what I've been doing for over 25 years. It started because I'm an artist, not so much because I like to make stamps per se, but that's how people... Let's see, easier to make it not look like a mistake. Yes, that's very true. So here we go. See that? So I do make these into rubber stamps so that people all over the world can duplicate what I'm doing, but then they could spend their time drawing or colorizing. So now I'm just going to take my eraser, just erase all of that. Then it looks finished. And this is something where, let's say I wanted to make it into note card. I wouldn't necessarily put the writing down. Oh, my family just came in from work, or not work, shopping. So anyway, I wouldn't do it necessarily on here, because if I wanted to reposition it. Where are you from? Okay, well, I've lived here in Washington State for most of my life, but I was born in South America. So anyway, right here, I'm gonna add a little flourish right here just to balance it out. See that? So it kind of gives it a little balance. What do you guys think? You like that? Okay. So let's do another one. Oh, Brazil? No. Chile. Thank you. So here, I'm gonna do another one. Let's see. Let's say if I was going to do a birthday, happy birthday. Let me do it. I'll do it in pencil first, actually. The shadow is really... Let me see if I can turn on the light. That'll help. Oh, no, it's not. Oh. Sorry, I had to use both plugs to keep my power on for the cameras. So hopefully this will do. Remember how I did the H and the A I like together? So here is H and the A. Happy. And then here, I'll go do that. And then here, I might make this longer so it doesn't compete so much. Happy. Love the backward tail. Oh, thank you. I do like that too. It's so different. Okay, happy birthday. Let's do. I do that with a G too. You could do a G. Oh, actually, let me see. No, I don't do that with a G. This is what I do with a G. Go like this, and I go down. Can you see that okay? So I like to do that. So I'll erase that. But let me do birthday. Oh, thank you. Here's birthday. So I'm wondering if a future video, if I should do how to edit or fix mistakes. How do you do a capital G? Oh, good question. Here, let me do this real quick and I'll do a capital G. That's a great question. Capital letters are one of the hardest things to do. And you must have tried them before. That's why you knew to ask that. Let me show you this D that I like to do. So here, normally I would do straight, right? But here I'm going to do this curved one. Isn't that cool? I like that. And you could actually have it go down. So maybe when I correct it, B's, yes, B's are hard. Happy birthday. Yep, looks like you've done lettering before, so you know. M's are hard for me. Let's do the T, that. Okay, let me do the G real quick for you so you can see. So when I do a G, actually G's are one of my favorite ones to do. So I go like this. And then I'll do this. Isn't that great? What do you think? Do you like that one? Can you see it okay from up here? I know, I love that one. It's probably one of my favorite ones to do. So even though it's hard, keep at it, because at some point you're going to find one that you like to do. They don't all have to be the same. You know, there's different G's you can do. You can do, you know, the traditional, you know, like this. And then you could kind of add your different flourishes to it. So there's lots of things you can do. But that is my favorite. Okay. Do you want me to do the alphabet one at a time? You like the first bit? Yeah, me too. Do you want me to do the whole alphabet? Would you like to see that? I can show you the whole alphabet that I do. Yes, okay. I'll do, let's see, I'll do capital letters first. Me too. Oh, good. Okay. Here's A. And maybe at some point I can have it written down so that you can see. See that? So depending on where the next letter is, I might make this tail longer like that, or I might extend that longer or shorter, or maybe not make it curl as much. So it really depends on what's going on around. And that's when I can make my adjustments. So isn't that I thought that's pretty. So then here's B. Here's B. But B can be different too. I could just make it more flat, and then I could do something with this if I want. If I want to make it curl upwards, I can. C is pretty straightforward. I just go like that. You know, I just make it curve a little bit better than that, but I ink it in. So pretty simple. I don't do too much to it. You could, if you want to add a little end point, you can. Okay, let's go to D. D, I go so you can do that kind of a D. Here's E. I like E's a lot. Oh, actually, let me start over again. So So it depends on what I have going next to it. If I have a T or something next to it, might go longer, or I might go long like this. See that? Can you see that okay? You could do that, or you can make it a little bit shorter. Let's say if I did it shorter, I'd go like this, and then just, like that. Or I can make this bottom part longer, like that. So depends on what you want to do, but they're all very fun to do. Okay, let's go to F. So similar, but shorter. Shorter crossbar there and shorter on the bottom because you don't want it to look like an E. Okay, F, and then we saw G, but I'll do it again for those of you who just joined. The G is like this. If you just joined, I'm doing the capital letters. Some of you have been wondering how to do letters. Here's that, but you can add this to it if there's nothing going on that side. H. If I have a capital A next to it, like in Happy Birthday, I might go across both. I'll make it long right here. H, then I, pretty simple. I, J, depends on what's going on. I could do, let's see. Very simple like that. K. I might make the tail go long like that. Kind of depends on what you want to do. K, oh, thank you. L, I'll do this. And then depends on what I have going on here. I might make it go long, or I might have it go dip longer than that. Okay. L, then M. M's you could do different ways. Here's one M. Here's one M. Another M would be, let's see. Let's see. So it kind of depends. You could add another line there if you want. Or you can do, let's see. This is a little messier, but that's another way of doing it. N, you can do different ways. N would be, you could go like this where it loops way up high. See that? Or you can do like that. And then O, I like to do O's. It's more like this. So I just do like a half here and a half here, but I don't do them side by side. Notice that it's a little bit lower, so it almost looks tipped. So that's how I like to do my O's. So I just go this, then like that. And when I sketch it in, it's not as critical until I actually darken it in with a pen. Then I could be a little bit more careful about sizing and spacing, because even the spacing of that, you don't want it to be too skinny. You want it to be at least consistent with your others. Here's P. So here, see how that goes over there? When I darken it, I might actually make it go all as like one stroke. P, then Q. Might be similar to a O, like this. What do you think? Isn't that cool? Q, then let's do R. You make it look so simple. That's what everyone says. There's this one artist, let's see, what's his name? It's called the Master Penman. Look it up on YouTube. I think his last name starts with a W, but he's excellent. And I was watching, and that's one of the things he said is that people said, you make it look so easy. Then he says, they don't realize all the hours and hours, thousands of hours that went into it, staying up at 4 in the morning and all that. it's like, you know what? It's pretty funny because it is true. You know, I've done this for years and for hours and hours. Yes, the master penman, it's excellent. And actually, the person or the sponsor of the video is Budweiser. So if you do maybe penman and Budweiser, it might pop up a little faster for you. So take a peek, but it's very worth it. It's not a long video, but you'll get really inspired. I was so inspired. And I guess there's only, I want to say, a dozen in the whole world, master penmen. And he's actually fairly young for his age. Most of the other ones would be much. Am I on YouTube also? For my personal art, that's pretty new, so I'll probably be uploading this onto YouTube, but I do have card making videos up there under Denami Design, so you can look that up. That's DENAMI Design. I have stamps for that. So if you wanted to do like card making, that's one. Look at this tea. I like that tea. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, here's you. So I'll do this, and I'll match it up here. But sometimes, depending on if I want it to have a line there, I might do that, or I might just do an actual, you know, you like that. For those who just joined, I'm just doing some letters because I went over some other ones. And if you did want to catch the beginning part of this video, this will be up for 24 hours on Periscope, and I'm going to see about uploading on YouTube so that, you know, you could see the whole thing and rewatch it in its entirety. Can you do graffiti styles? Oh, wow. Let me do these ones first. I'm not really adept at that, the graffiti styles, so I must say I have to practice. But let me do the V. This is really a cool V. You'll like it, I think. Here's the V, and then I'll go like this. Here's my V. V, then W. W, and here's X. X. Whoops. Let me start over. X. And I might just do a straight line here to be consistent with the other one. X. Then Y. So Y can be done different ways. I could do this. See that? Or I can do Y like this. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I'll go like beyond the baseline. Can you do an entire alphabet on one page and share it on Facebook so we could look back on it? Oh, what a great idea. I think I would like that. If I was, you know, learning too. X, Y, and then Z. That's a great idea. I think I'll have to put that all on paper. And I actually have different alphabets too. That's just the one that I came up with on my own. See that? So this one is pretty cool because it depends on what's going on with the letters next to it. I might make it curve really low, I could make it short, or I can make this one go longer. You know, even with any of the letters here, I can, you know, always add a flourish like that. Okay, so, and then for the lowercase, those are pretty simple. I just go like this, A, B, C, D. I do different ways. I'll show you two ways. Here's one way. D is the standard. This is the other D that I really like. Actually, let me do that over again. See that? Isn't that cool? D. Then E is different. I could go like this. See that? And sometimes, if this is the last letter, I might do like a little flourish like that. F would be different too. There's different ways I've done it. I would make it go hang below the baseline, and then sometimes with this one I can make it just go really long, or make it short and then just make it longer on the other end. Or I could do where it's actually curved. See that? So there's a couple different options. E, F, then G. Love G's. I'll show you why. See that? G, or you could just do a standard G. And depends on what's going on with the letters around you, or letters around it will determine how much you let it hang. Because if you've got another word beneath it, Oh, yes. Add little flowers to the flourishes would be cute. Yes, and I do that. A lot of times I'll use the flourishes to compensate for spacing. Like I might have something where I didn't space it very well, or I'd like it to, you know, be a little heavier on another side. I might add that. Here's an H. Depends on what's going on. I might make this side longer. If I want it to kind of have a bouncier look, I might do that. I. J is fun. Let's see. That. I, J, then K, right? We'll do K next. K, L, M, N, O. Here's that O again. Remember the bottom kind of it tips a little bit. O, then P, and Q would be Q, R, S. S can be fun because I can make that hang down. T, U. Oops, I made that a little too long here. V, W, X. So you can make this curl longer. Just have to play with that. Y. I mentioned before I love the Y. And then Z. Remember, this is this lowercase. So I could do that, or I can do this. So it depends on what you have going on, how busy you want it. So I'll show you some. What username do you use on YouTube? Well, I started one for Pent Up Artist, but I don't have anything uploaded really. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. I'm trying to think. I did some lettering art, quick videos for Instagram, and then also on my Facebook page. So be sure to go on Facebook. Are all of you on Facebook? If you are, you could just look that up, and I have all of them up there, and you could look up under videos and see my quick little, quick lapse videos that are really fun to watch because, they're maybe like a minute or two long. Yep, you've seen it? Okay, great. Oh, you're on YouTube. Okay, or Facebook. Good. Good. Maybe you can leave a comment on there to let me know that you watched this. Okay, so let's do, let me show you some flourishes or little things that I could do. Oh, fabulous. Great. I like to add something. So let's say I'm going to do my name. So here, Nami. See that? So let's say I wanted to add a flourish. So I might take this and just kind of dress it up. I might add, like make that into a little heart. Isn't that cute? And then maybe I would take this and then either go down and up or just go down. Maybe I'll do there. See, it doesn't even take much, but it makes it look more dressy. So if I wanted to add another, let's see, something more floral or outdoorsy, I can do that. And then add some little leaves. Isn't that cool? Cool. And now I'm going to pen it in so you can see that for real. It's easier to see when it's in black. So if you just joined me, this is the Micron 01 pen. That's the 0.25 tips. There's different brands out there, but this is the best one, I think. So I wouldn't even bother buying another one if you're going to buy it in the first place. So here is, so here's darkened in. My son just joined me right here. He's being really quiet. Evan, can you say hi?
Hi.
He's actually an artist himself. He's very, very good. He was doing it as a young kid. Hi. Hi. Someone said hi back. See that. And then let's see this one, how it's straight. I might make it a little curly here. And add this. That. Add that. Add the leaves. Add little dots. So now I'm going to erase them. I'm going to show you how to add some extra detailing to this. This one's really has a lot of movement to it, but I'm going to show you how to add some dimension to it, and in a very easy way. It's not going to be so involved. That takes all day, because you know some pieces of art can take a long time to do because of all the details. So I really appreciate when I see good artwork, because I know how many hours it took to perfect it and to get it right, or just even the hours of training to get there to be at that level. So here it is. Okay, so this is great for if you want to color in, but let's say I wanted to add some little details. So I'm just going to do a line, and then I'm going to add some dots. See that? Doesn't that really kind of dress it up a little bit? Some of them you could do 2 dots, others you could do 3 dots. It doesn't have to be every single letter either. Lots of people don't understand the work behind the art. Yes, you are so right. Probably because they're used to just being able to print off letters on the computer, but actually fonts were originally designed by people. So they had to have somebody actually do that. If you understand letters and the anatomy of a letter, you can actually design your own font, which is pretty much what I did here. So what you need to know is the baseline, the waistline, which would be like where a D or a B or an A is, that's the waistline, or also where the T cross is or the A cross is for the capital A, would be the waistline, and then you've got the top bar. If you know all those, and if you have a certain way of doing, like this is called serifs. Serifs. So if you've seen, I know all of you, you know, if you're on Periscope, you must be somewhat tech savvy. You know about fonts, and you'll see some that say sans, S-A-N-S. Have you guys seen that on fonts? Tap hearts if you have seen that. Yep. Sans in French means without. Yes. Okay. Sans serif means without the serif. Serif are where the tails of the letters are. Here, let me show you, give you an example. So, let's say an A. This would be a serif for the A. See that? This part is the serif. So sans serif would be a letter that has none, and I'll do one with a sans serif. Do you see the difference? This is sans serif. So next time you look at a letter and you don't see kind of like the little tail that comes out, you'll know that's a sans letter, sans serif. So they may or may not put in the title of the letter, but that's what it means. So this has a serif, and this one doesn't. So if I'm ever doing something, you know, sometimes the serif ones look better for, I don't know, to me it looks a little more artistic. These look more modern, so there's a time and place for doing more modern ones that have no serifs, sans serif. So anyway, I would encourage you to practice. What you can do is print off about 3 to 5 of your favorite fonts. Print it off in like 100 point, because that's anything bigger than that's going to be too big for you to really do much with. Do 100 point, and then do all the capitals, so A, B, C, D, all the way to Z in capitals. Then do the lowercase A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, and then do 0 through 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do a comma, semicolon, colon, a question mark, and an exclamation point. That will be your basis for learning letters. So then what you could do is start practicing, start having guidelines, and then just start writing that. What did you say here? And to, yep, do an and to. Good, good suggestion. What you could do is just start practicing that, and then get good at those letters that you like already. Then you can make variations, like, if you like something with a lower crossbar, do one where it's raised. You've seen some letters where it's really high-waisted. Those are fun to do too. So just change things around. Maybe do a little serif that's like, like this. This is pointy, right? You can also do one that's more squared off. And I know you've seen those. Like Garamond is more squared off like that. See that? And sometimes it's squared off at the top. Not always, but... So just experiment. You could even, like with the one I did, they're not even matching, You could even do where it's matching, where it's exact. See that? Experiment. Do it high-waisted, do it low-waisted, make it match, or maybe even have it go exactly, to that. See that? You just have it exactly match low-waisted and high-waisted. See, they all look different. But if you kind of understand the anatomy, then you could transform any letter that you like, any alphabet you like, into what you want. So it's pretty simple to do that way. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that are good basics. Just do lots of practicing. What I would do is do lots of, I call them forms or practice forms, where you're just practicing to doodling. That's the one thing is, if you've met some real artists, I would say that almost all of them are doodlers, I bet. I haven't ever taken a poll, but I bet they are. So get good at doodling. It used to be when we had a phone book and you could doodle while you're talking on the phone, but obviously we don't have that anymore. We do mainly texting, but just do doodling. Like here would be something that you could do. Practice your, see how that's even? Practice doing the forms. Do like a whole line of that. What I've done is I've printed these off before for my students, and then they would just trace it, but then they would do some blank ones on their own. So practice doing that, and then practice doing this. So one of them will be easier for you to do than the other. So then you might think, oh, well, what's the point of doing that? Well, firstly, you get to be good at just handling your pencil and making it even. I would suggest you start doing this on a lined paper, and then as you get better, start doing it unlined, because you'll notice when you write, things either go up or go down. Everyone tends to go one way or the other. But this will give you a chance to kind of compensate for it, and if you tend to go down, then you just start doing it a little bit higher up. Then you could do this kind of stuff. Let's see, you could do slanted. Good idea. Oh, good. And then you could do, let's see, swirls. Swirls. Try to do it evenly. Do a whole bunch of them. I don't know about you, but we end up with a lot of scratch paper after you print things on the printer and things get thrown out. Just turn it over and just use that for your practice. Do lots of them. Go this direction and then go this direction. Just train yourself. Don't get frustrated, because just like anything, you're learning something new, or you're trying to get to a different place in your writing than you were before. So that takes effort. and concentration. So don't get frustrated, because if you could see where I was at even 10 to 15 years ago, I was hiring people to do letters for when I did stamping because I did not like how mine looked. But at the same time, some of the things I got back, they weren't exactly what I envisioned. But it was frustrating because I couldn't do it myself. And I admitted that I wasn't very good. So I would take classes, I would do, go to conferences, I would practice on my own. So I would encourage you, if you look up a local calligraphy guild, that's a great place to start for letters, because you'll get to master letters. And of course they're going to use a calligraphy pen, but that's okay. You'll get the technique, and they'll show you how to do it, you know, how to write at an angle, and they'll give you the right kind of papers that you could practice on. They have some that are actually slanted and lined so that you could follow that. Practice doing your name in different scripts and different fonts. That's a fun way to do it too. Another thing you could do is practice doing straight lines. And always kind of refer back to the first one, because if you notice it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, then eventually it'll be down to nothing once you get to that point. But try to do it evenly. You know, just keep at it. Do it in your pencil, you do it in pen, that's fine. And then also do it across. This is where people really mess up the most, is because, see that? Just kind of look at it. Look, kind of use almost your peripheral. So you're looking at what's ahead and the spacing. See that? See, that takes some practice. Thanks for joining us. Just showing how to do some of these forms. But you can watch the recast for 24 hours on Periscope. I'm going to try to upload it onto YouTube on Pent Up Artist. So anyway, so here's that. And then also do circles. Circles are a good one. And I know some people that aren't really good at writing, they'll try to hurry through this. I'm not sure if it's because they want to get it over with, or they don't have the control of the pen. But be very purposeful. Don't rush through it. Just be intentional. I think that's the word I want to use, is be intentional. Also do dots. And practice getting them spaced out evenly as best as you can. You'll always get better as you keep doing it. Even a dot, you'd think it'd be so easy, but you know, it takes practice to make them even. And do different size circles too, and different spacing. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'll have to think of more things to teach you guys in the future. And then also do, it's kind of hard since it's not on the hard table, but you just do a little wavy line. Try to make them even, and even do the jagged lines too. But this is something you can do. So if you are on, you could just pause this and take a picture of the screen, and then maybe just remember how to do this. Very simple. But then when you're just doodling on your own, you could do small versions of it. You know, I would recommend, and a lot of us carry big purses, get one of these sketch pads and just carry it with you. Just carry around a pencil and maybe a pen, and then just start doodling. And remember, it's not one of those things that has to be perfect. Because if you notice, I have a lot of things inside here that I didn't pen in. You know, they're just for fun. I need to get a practice notebook. Yes. But get this one. I really recommend this one. I got this at Barnes & Noble, and it was only like, I think it was $5.99. It was crazy cheap. Very smooth. It's acid-free. 120 GSM. I don't know what that means. 120 pounds maybe? But it's very nice. And they actually have a big version, and I have the bigger version I use for different purposes. But this is one that's easy to carry around with me. So, any questions? Any other questions you guys have? See, these are, is that serif or sans serif? Anyone want to guess? Serif or sans serif? After what I taught you. What size is your pencil? Okay, 0.5. It's a mechanical pencil. I prefer this. 0.3 will be very tiny. I like the tiny, but they'll break more easily. 0.7, yes, serif, yes, you learned, yay. You guys did great. Yeah, this is 0.5. It's probably one of the most easily accessible ones. 0.7 you'll find in the school supply places, but I think they're a little too chunky, so they're a little harder to write with, in my opinion. But use whatever's comfortable for you. And then, anyway, thank you so much for joining. I will want to do another one of these in the future, so would you let me know that you like it? Come back to the Facebook page and just leave a little comment letting me know that you visited me there. So thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye. Oh, you are welcome. Thank you. Can everyone say goodbye? Tell me where you're from. Bye. You're welcome. I can read this. Bye. What city are you from? I'd love to hear. Tennessee. Oh, great. Goodbye from Kansas City. Illinois. Yay. KCMO. Where's that? Oh, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. Yes. Bye from Lexington, Kentucky. I think I've been to almost all those places, at least all those states I've been to. Well, great. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye from Tennessee. Great. Thank you. Bye.